I don't need to tell you that the world has dramatically changed and that we all face terrible uncertainties. I also likely don't need to tell you that those uncertainties are causing all sorts of inner problems such as stress, anxiety, relationship breakdowns, and all sorts of other well-being problems. No matter who you are and what you do, you're likely to be affected. As a caring business leader, you'll be thinking of your people, especially those working from home. You should also be thinking about yourself and your own resilience. But wait, this is not something in which you likely have the right skill set. So what can you do about it? Well, one good way is to use the power of mindfulness. You can deliver a proven result by discovering the true power of mindfulness that can be implemented right across your business today. So have a bit of curiosity for a moment and let me show you more. Come with me to Estonia to meet the co-founder and COO of Synctuition. Welcome, Michael Burich.
Hi, Malcolm. Good to
Thank
see
you.
you.
I get my Michaels and my Malcolms mixed up there. Sorry about that. But
It's all good.
lovely to chat to you in sunny Estonia. But before we start solving viewers' well-being challenges, please tell us briefly, what is Synctuition and how does it work?
Absolutely. Well, Synctuition is an app which is a product of really 10 long years of blood, sweat, and tears and research about mental health. With the sole purpose of our founder and founding team is to improve the mental health worldwide. And we created an app which is really an entertainment app, which will help people do that. So our main goal was to reach as many people as possible, not only the people that are deep into meditation and know so much about meditation, but also the regular person that may not feel that meditation is something they know or particularly understand, but would like to practice mindfulness in an easy way. And so we created an app which is extremely fun, extremely different to everything that's out there. It has a lot of positive technology and technology with positive effects on the brain, like binaural beats, gamma waves. And it's created kind of like a movie for your mind. So you close your eyes, you put on a journey, and you're just taken to this incredible world that the sound is creating within your mind.
Excellent. Now, what sparked you and your co-founders the idea for Synctuition? What was that light bulb or even eureka moment?
Sure. So, we came from the originally, a lot of us, hospitality entertainment industry. About 10 years ago, we were seeing people that were, celebrating the highs, living well before the crisis hit. And when the crisis hit, a lot of the same people couldn't manage the lows in life. They fell into depression when things turned around. They really didn't know how to handle themselves that well when the cycle turned. And so we thought, we have to help these people. We have to look at the bigger picture. And then we started researching mental health. And when we did the research, we were shocked. We were looking at the numbers of the usage of technology and social media going up. It was just spiking. Usage of anti-anxiety medication, alcohol abuse, all of those little things that in one way, you could say are not connected to each other, but to us, connected the dots into a very grim picture about the future of mental health and what's going to happen. And so when we saw people, first of all, falling into these depression and stress states, and when we saw what was going to happen with, everybody getting a mobile device in their pocket, and we understood what can happen with this kind of, today it's trendy to say social distancing. Back then it was kind of like isolation. We were isolating ourselves with our devices, doing more typing and chat and texting rather than meeting people. So all of that painted this really dark picture, which we wanted to avoid at all costs, or at least help improve and soften the blow, if you will. And this is how we went on our journey to develop something that would be very exciting, very easy to use, and at the same time would have a very deep impact on the stress level of people and on their overall way of looking at life, uplifting their feeling of hope, really, and then self-confidence.
Yeah, having worked for over 40 years in the travel and hospitality business, I know that that's one sector that can heat it.
Yeah.
Let's move on to mindfulness, but before that, just give me a little thought on what is the difference between mindfulness and meditation, please.
Well, it's a very long conversation. Meditation is a very old practice with a lot of really proven benefits. I think mindfulness is just adding to that a lot of the research that we were able to do in the past years with all the advance in technology, really understanding how the brain works and how it functions. So mindfulness is really taking, maybe the best parts of meditation and adding that research and that technology and things that we discovered about the brain in the last few years. And mindfulness is in a way, it's very simple. It's just being present in the moment, not thinking of anything else, minding what you're doing. So it sounds like a very simple thing to do. In reality, it's one of the most challenging things for anybody to do. Just imagine yourself, sitting down and being present without thinking of everything you had to do this morning, your shopping list in the evening, what your wife asked you to do, what your kids maybe want, what's going to happen in your job tomorrow. All of these thoughts, and we have thousands and thousands of thoughts racing through our heads every hour, every minute. So to kind of escape that and be present in the moment is something that's very difficult to do. And this is exactly what we try to help somebody achieve very, very quickly.
Yeah. I've always thought in my own little naive way that meditation was something that somebody teaches you how to do, but mindfulness was knowing why you're doing it. So what's attracting people to it at the moment then?
You mean to mindfulness overall?
Yes, to mindfulness, yes.
I think mindfulness works in an incredible way. I mean, it's a very simple thing to do. To be honest with you, you could use tools like ours to help you do it, but you can also just sit down, close your eyes, breathe, and you can instantly feel that effect of mindfulness within a certain amount of minutes of how it clears your head. You kind of feel almost like a little bit of weight being lifted off your shoulders, and it helps you focus. It helps you. There's so many benefits. Like if you do it in the evening, it helps you sleep better. It helps you relax. It makes you less anxious about things that are going on around you, and it's very, very easy to do. You don't need a lot of experience. There's not a lot of philosophy about it. It's just getting into that space where you're giving yourself time. But again, having said that, it's proven to be very difficult for a lot of people to just do naturally.
Okay. I know from my work with an Indian guru that mindfulness works on a personal basis. He's got 400 million followers. But can it work across a company, even in today's challenging and uncertain times?
Absolutely. One of the main directions that we've taken with Synctuition, after a lot of the direct-to-consumer kind of approach that we've had in the beginning, we added the business-to-business part of Synctuition, and it's proving incredibly productive for us. One of the reasons being is that we promote practicing mindfulness just 25 minutes a day. You can do so much with 25 minutes. And the busy person, whether he's running a business or he's an employee of the business, they don't necessarily have the 2-3 hours, to meditate on a deep level. But everybody can find 25 minutes during the day to practice mindfulness and experience very similar results to people that practice deep meditation. So we're saying, 25 minutes is just 2% of your day. And I could find any single person 2% of their day to dedicate to themselves and making themselves better. So the answer is yes, we're introducing it in quite a few companies. They're trying as whole teams actually to use Synctuition before work, after work. Some employers are actually really progressive and are allowing mindfulness time and mindfulness breaks within the day, which is something that's beautiful to see. I think the awareness towards mental health is really increasing right now within companies, and companies worrying about the well-being and mental health of their employees is really on the rise. So I think we're at the right moment of providing an incredible solution and making it extremely easy for the employer to provide something to their employee, which they will notice within a very short time will have a very positive impact on their mental health.
Excellent. I totally applaud you on that. Was it hard to bring the idea to reality? For instance, there are so many variations of mindfulness, and every practitioner thinks their version is the best. Did you have to do much research? Did you have specific product challenges to overcome to generate credibility?
Absolutely. Well, I mean, when I said in the beginning, we developed the app for 10 years. The biggest challenge is to keep proving to yourself over this time that what you're doing has a purpose and a meaning. Before you're actually opening the business, begin to sell and receive revenues, to just keep yourself motivated for 10 years to do this is an incredible challenge for anyone. But back when we came up with this idea, we definitely started researching mental health first of all. Then we started researching what technology was out there that could somehow impact the brain through music in a positive way and work on people's mental health. We began finding out quite incredible things, which got us really excited about doing this and continuing to do this. But the way we approached it, and when we started doing it, mindfulness wasn't a big thing. There weren't many apps, and there weren't a lot of competitors like there are today. So when we started, it was quite a level playing field. But we had this image that we want to reach people through entertainment. We want this to be not only for a small segment of people who practice meditation. So we took an approach like they do with movies, and we scripted out all of our journeys. We created mood boards for every single journey. We tried to picture what a person would see when they heard it. We chose different sounds, and then we went out to over 2,000 locations all over the world, recording these sounds in the field in 3D. So we knew that we were doing something special that if somebody even tried to copy, it would take them years to do. And a whole creative team like ours. So we, from the very beginning, created the product in a way that will just awe the listener. As soon as they listen to it, there would be this moment of, wow, how did they do this? And we would try to create something that if people would even try to kind of compete with, they would need the same amount of patience and sweat as we put into it. So we kind of set ourselves off in the beginning to be very different. And I think that what happened when we came out with the product is that we were proven right. People could hear the research, the experience, the dedication. You can't fool a listener. When they listen to Synctuition and they hear sounds which are so realistic and they feel like they're right there, it's because we recorded it right on the spot. You cannot computer generate these kind of sounds.
Yeah.
And I think that was
fantastic.
a huge advantage and something that we did. And just, we were very lucky. We were very blessed that the people accepted our vision and learned to love it as much as we loved creating it.
Yeah, I bet it must have been really fun creating those mood boards. Let's just stick with mindfulness for business for the moment. Many of my viewers and listeners are hardened business people, focused on numbers and results, and may inwardly be dismissive, that all that mumbo jumbo thinking, but hopefully they're still watching out of curiosity. I know you may have encountered such situations, so let's just reassure those leaders now the measures you've taken so that we can move forward and soothe the doubters. What are the proven and practical results of Synctuition that business leaders should be thinking about? Give me, say, 3 of them.
Well, look, every business leader is a person, first of all. A person, works based on emotion, but for making rational decisions, they need to be clear-headed. They need to be well-rested. They need to be able to control their emotion and to not be distracted with stressful situations and anxiety. What mindfulness does is it helps all of the factors I just mentioned. So first of all, it's one of the best ways to improve your sleep. If you practice mindfulness before going to bed, you will very, very quickly realize that it's a different quality of sleep. It's deeper sleep. You feel much more rested when you wake up, and they need to do it 3-4 times and they will feel that right away. So I think quality of sleep is important for any business leader. Second of all is stress and anxiety. You need to find those short moments during the day where everything that's built up throughout the day, you kind of need to release it. I know that a lot of business leaders like to go to the gym and release their anger and frustration and everything, which is great for physical health, but mental health is just as important, if not more. And so we equate it to, you go to work out, you go to the gym, you brush your teeth, all of those things that you need to be healthy physically, physiologically, you need to think of mental health the same way. So that's your escape. That's your anti-stress and anti-anxiety. That's the second one. And third one, there's a lot of research that I've been reading lately about flow states. And I know Stephen Kotler is doing a lot about flow states and how that's making you focus on a task. It's when you perform at your best So peak performance, uh, the best motivation, and absolutely squeezing the most of what you can do at that situation. Now, what we've noticed is that mindfulness is a gateway towards achieving those flow states where you're focused and creative, and you're really pushing yourself to the limits when it comes to productivity. So mindfulness has absolutely proven, if you practice it on a regular basis, you will see that your energy level will be different. You will see that your creativity, your thoughts are connecting faster, and your memory is better. You're more focused. All of those things that are very, very helpful for business. I think those would be the top three that I would mention.
Thank you. Is Synctuition for everybody, or principally for the young, digitally minded, and confident?
It's quite the opposite. I mean, of course, it being an app and having a lot of music and 3D sounds, young people love the app. But actually, we're using a technology in there that's called binaural beats. And if you just do a basic research on binaural beats on the web, you will find that binaural beats has an incredible effect on the brain, including better connection between the right and left hemisphere of the brain. You create new synapses, which helps you create memory and helps you focus on tasks more. So we've actually noticed that for the elderly, the effect of binaural beats has been incredible. And we're actually, we're speaking to certain retirement homes right now, but introducing Synctuition there, because if you can help with memory and you can help with just small tasks and focusing on tasks, then Synctuition could very much revolutionize the way that this industry works. So definitely not just for the young and trendy. There's a lot of tech and science behind the product. And it's, I think, incredible also for the elderly and for anybody, really. I think you're never too young or too old to do mindfulness, because it's just good for you.
Excellent. Yeah. Okay. I'm sold. I'm ready to be a Synctuition user. Oh, by the way, my wife started last night, and already this morning she's been nice to me. Take me through the process take me through the process of getting started, say for the first 90 days. What's important that I do?
Okay, so I mean, we made the app extremely easy to use. So obviously, you download the app, you sign up. Let's say you become a subscriber. You will see that the first 4 tracks are already open, and it's very recommended to go through them one by one. The way we created Synctuition is, once again, to remove the element of choice anxiety when you have so much content, you don't know what exactly you want to choose. So we are opening a new journey for you every 12 hours to make it extremely easy for you to go throughout the whole program without having to jump right and left and, oh, am I anxious, or do I sleep? Do I need better sleep, or do I need to de-stress? You don't need to think about it. You just go one by one. And the topics that we're covering there are really topics that are meant to build your self-confidence, make you kinder, make you more open, to the different cultures, to just different things that are happening around you. It makes you appreciate your relationships more. We touched on a lot of those subjects. And for the first 90 days, that's what you do. You literally go one by one, and you begin to go on this journey into yourself, and then understand what are the things in life that really matter the most, how you should approach your relationships, how you should think about life. And as you go through the journeys, we have 5 levels in the app right now. Every level has 20 journeys. So you would keep going through the levels. As the levels increase, also the intensity of binaural beats increases as your brain gets used to it. And I think that some of those journeys are absolutely incredible and emotional for people. So you'll just keep going on this beautiful journey, and I think that you wouldn't want to stop.
Hey, it sounds fantastic. I'm looking forward to it, because I can't do an actual physical journey at the moment because of coronavirus, but I can go on a Synctuition journey. So what do you think?
This is what we're saying.
Yeah.
If you can't go out, go in.
Yes, and I can't go to the gym either as well, because they're still closed. What do you think will be the biggest challenge to increasing uptake and usage of Synctuition? I personally know that it's needed, and I'm looking forward to trialing, as I said to you, across our small business. But how do you convince possible users to make those first steps? How do you plan to make Synctuition an everyday part of everyone's lives? By the way, I love that 2% saying. That's brilliant.
Well, I mean, one thing is obviously education. We're investing not only into the app, we're investing into research. We've done quite extensive research about mental health, and we put it out there to show people what's happening, what has been happening before the coronavirus, and what has been happening after, and where the world is going, which we feel is almost like an epidemic of mental health. So we keep raising awareness. We're doing it ourselves. We're doing it through certain celebrities and professionals and CEOs who are helping us spread the word about it. In terms of people using the app more, it's like with any good habit. We can only talk about it so much and recommend it and get people to try and take that first step about them working on their mental health. We're very confident about it because we know they will feel the difference. But for a person to keep developing a habit and keep sticking to it, I think is one of the greatest challenges in life. It doesn't matter what it is. People tend to break habits. And we're there to keep them motivated within the app. So we're working right now on some sort of a reward system. We're working on, informing them that after listening to the app, they've gained so and so many, positive things and brain connections, if you will, and whatever else that Synctuition offers. So we're trying to show them that what they're doing is good for their mental health. We're trying to tell them that you will feel it in your everyday life, just in the way that you look at life and the way that your thoughts are. You kind of clean yourself of all the negativity that you accumulate every day. And we just think you understand, we accumulate a ton of negativity throughout the day. You wake up in the morning, you take your phone, you read the headlines, negative. You go to work, maybe it's challenging, coronavirus, revenues are not there, we're not hitting budget targets, negative. You talk to your friends, they're kind of depressed about things that are going on, negative. And negative. You turn on the TV in the end of the day, and you kind of pouring buckets and buckets of dirt on yourself, invisible dirt every day. You need something to clean that. I brought the analogy of brushing your teeth. We're used to that. Most of us are doing that in the evening right now. But 100 years ago, that wasn't the norm. We weren't brushing our teeth that way. It's the same way with mental health and what we're seeing. We want for people to make it the norm in the evening to clean yourself from the negativity when it comes to your mental health. Put on Synctuition. You clean that away, you go to sleep, you have a deep sleep, you wake up in the morning, you feel more energized, and you go back to work. So this is really how we're trying to do it. We're trying to educate and just create incredible content for people not to feel like this is work. We don't want them to feel like, oh, I need to meditate as like, we don't even use the word meditate. We're kind of saying it's audio relaxation, it's mindfulness, and it's easy to do. And I think that if we do our job right, if we make it easy, if we make the content exciting, if we keep reminding people why it's useful and what are the benefits, then we will at least move the needle a little bit towards better mental health for the world.
Yeah, I love that, all the outcomes that you can achieve through Synctuition. And I also love the statement that I've heard in the past, people form habits and those habits form your future. So
Absolutely.
Obviously get in there. Well, let's look at the purpose of your business. Put aside making money. What do you see as the true purpose, or the older word mission, of Synctuition? And how will you know when you're achieving your purpose?
Well, I think it's basically what I just touched on. It's achieving better mental health awareness at first, and then better mental health overall. And we even set a goal, to ourselves of increasing it by a certain percentage by 2030, which is what we want to achieve. And we're doing quite a lot for it, which has no direct result on the business. We've established, for example, a global council on mental health, where we're trying to get, celebrities and influencers to join this council. And it's not about Synctuition, it's about raising awareness for mental health. Those are the people that are carrying the message to their millions and millions of fans and people that are watching them and learning from them about just the importance of giving time for yourself, about, doing something. Mental health is not a stigma, the stigma that it used to be. It's okay to talk about it. There are plenty of tools out there to help you with it. You don't have to start taking medication all the time about, if you feel you're depressed, pills. If you feel this, pills. We're trying to avoid that. We're saying there are some ways that you can help yourself and reduce a little bit that pressure that you feel on yourself every day.
Excellent.
So, in a way, it's hard to measure. In another way, when we'll see that people are kinder, more generous, suffer less from mental health disorders, when we see, and it's, it's alcohol consumption, it's your diet. There's a lot of things in there which actually originate in mental health. So I guess when we see a slightly kinder, more healthier, and more optimistic world, we know that we have contributed at least somewhat to that.
All right. I think you'll have to start forming a good newspaper as well, instead of all the bad news you're getting. So where do you see Synctuition in 5 years' time? Your vision for the business? Are there extension possibilities such as virtual mindfulness retreats?
We see ourselves one of the leading mindfulness apps in the world. I think we're actually not too far from that with the latest numbers that we have. We want to be present on as many countries as possible. We want to localize the app in many languages so people can just, hear it in their own language and don't not have that language barrier to kind of be a step that stops them from listening to Synctuition. We definitely have quite a few extensions and other things that we're working on. I probably shouldn't talk about it yet, but I think as soon as 2021, hopefully if things with the coronavirus calm down, we have a few incredible ideas, world first ideas of how to bring Synctuition closer to businesses and help people practice mindfulness. People that have never done it before, give them a very easy and fun way to practice mindfulness without all the different stigma around it. So we're hoping to grow and have millions and millions of users. We hope to have a real impact on global mental health, and we hope to be there with those other great Estonian companies that have done us proud.
Yeah, I'm sure you definitely will be. Michael, it's 3 wishes time for our last question. If I were to give you 3 wishes for the future of mindfulness in business, what would they be?
So, number one, I would want our business leaders to accept that mental health is not something that will be a problem 5 or 10 years down the line. It's something that's already a problem today, and it's not their employees' problem. It's not that person that suffers problem. It's a global problem that we need to solve from the top level, and or not even solve, help some people prevent. So I want them to understand that they need to deal with it, and they need to deal with it now, and they need to be proactive in introducing mindfulness into the workplace. The second thing, I hope that, one thing is when the management is aware and is helping, but the people themselves need to understand that this is as normal as working out. It's as normal as brushing your teeth. It's as normal as keeping your diet. Mental health is not something you should be afraid of. It's not something that you should be embarrassed of. It's something that you should do for yourself. Something that, for whatever way, improve your relationships, improve your working habit, improve your productivity and creativity. It's something that you really need. I think if those two align, if the top management supports it, and if the people are accepting and are actually using it, then we'll have a much better future, a much more bright and kind and happier future. And the third wish would be, for us to be able to be part of that solution. I want to wish us to be able to bring what we were able to develop with science and technology to as many companies and people as possible, because the letters that we receive and the impact that they've had on certain people are so incredibly deep and powerful and mean to us even more than anything else. To be honest with you, within the first 6 months, the kind of letters that we receive, they change some people's lives. And if we're able to do that on a global scale in business as well, I think that would be absolutely incredible. We would feel like we're closer to getting our mission fulfilled.
Yeah, Michael, I love your commitment and your passion, and I hope that every single person watching this has made a note to take down the URL that's behind me. Michael Burich, thank you very much indeed of Synctuition. I think it's exciting. I'm looking forward to getting started tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Malcolm. I hope you like it very much.